Check in two. This is Yolantis. Where we last left off with the Yolantis Pattern Studio, I believe I was just getting back my blueprint and I got two SVGs, which showed us the top view and the front view of my proposed build. And I don't know how to use Blender very well. So for this check-in video, I have asked Claude Sonnet to make a keyboard shortcut reference sheet for me so that I know how to move my mouse and the camera. So this is my mouse. It's for 3D use. It's always good to have three buttons with a scroll wheel that you can press. And so this is like middle button press down, I think is what they call it. I have this ergonomic left-handed mouse. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it short, but I'm having so much fun with this. Let me show you what I got. Share. Okay, and I'm gonna uh, stop my video, I think. There we go. So I'm just gonna see if I can rotate around. So elevator comes up the center. Front view, portholes in the side. These are bay windows, three portholes on each side. This bottom one is called volume one. It's a rectangle and rotated 30 degrees along the middle elevator shaft. Swinging wide is volume two, and then on the top is volume three. And volume three, I asked it to have no roofs so that we could have um, I don't know, parties up there and open air parties. I don't know what all of these sticks are that are coming through, and I don't know why. I asked it to clean up the floating porthole negative space that are like floating midair, and it said it cleaned them up, but mm, I still have them. And so I wanted to show you where it thought it should put the furniture because I left it up to Claude to place the furniture. I didn't have that conversation at the beginning. And let's see what it is. It's like pan the view, hold shift and press, drag, scroll. Okay. Shift. Yeah, pan. So I'm having an X-ray view. Let's see if I can see if I can scroll inside. It stuck all the furniture on the door to the elevator shaft. So I'm pointing my mouse towards there's like a couch and two side chairs and two armoires by the porthole right by the elevator door. And they're on the shortest and there's like no room to walk. So it put it in the wrong place. So I have gone back to Claude and I have asked it to revise. And then I detailed where I wanted all the furniture. And you do that in Fable because Fable is the good one that knows how to plan and give you detailed blueprints and stuff. So a little more detail on the top where Claude thought that it was going to put eight um, community photos around, and it actually overlapped them on top of the portholes, which was not what I wanted. And so I've got one, two, three, four, five, six. Yeah, there's eight, and I'll show you how it made like a little sprite for them, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted to drag out a smart object that will show all of the community pictures. And let's see what it did. Actually, if I can zoom inside, there's a control panel on layer one. It's a shift to pan. How do you do this? Oh, this is good. And how do you go through? Okay. And hold. See, I think this is an elevator floating midair. This here is the first draft of a control panel. And of course, it's put it by the elevator door where there's no room to walk by it. So we've got all these buttons, and those are going to be the pattern switcher buttons. And then it's got a bunch of mess. It's got a mess. So I've asked for revisions. Now let me put Blender down. Down you go. And Here is um, my new blueprint. I asked for like action zones to be at the ends, and so it's calling them end zones. And now it's showing walkable space, and it's labeling everything. And it asked me a couple of questions. It said, oh, didn't document the questions right here. So I chose about 4 decision points, like, okay, each elevator on each floor is going to open towards the action end instead of towards the long end that doesn't have something to look at. Okay, so its first idea for placing furniture. Sofa with the back to the elevator. And so if somebody was going to take a picture, they would stand in front of the sofa, their friend is on the sofa, and the elevator would be in the background. And this armoire is placed there to be able to jump from the sofa to the armoire, but it's like in the way from the elevator. So I asked it to reverse um, the furniture. This didn't make sense to me. I was like, what are all these buttons? So I went back and forth with asking it to describe what is this. So this is supposed to be the console where we have a diorama of the living room and we have a previewer to show what pattern we're putting where. So I didn't like what it did. And so I really described what I wanted. I got down to it and I gave it like a really long paragraph. Here is what I want. Console base on the left. It's going to control the wallpaper, the floor, the area rug, the sofa, arranged by column, not by row. And so, yes, I go into detail. I don't need to read all that. And it's going to check for the triangles. And here it has the new revisions. So it's got a quiet end. It knows that we're not putting anything here. All the action over here. Photo has a good background of a window view, plus the wallpaper, not the elevator. And then the diorama, I asked it to have a pictogram label, uh, and above that, a pattern switcher button, and above that, a half size scale switcher button. And then each size gets its own preview window for the buttons that it controls. And the diorama would be like small scale, dollhouse scale of the living room above. We will see if this works in the end. I don't know. So yes, I went deep on the curtains. I said, okay, I want a valance, or and then I said, hey, what is an atlas? So it mentioned that I was balancing something with an atlas. I said, what is that? Oh, each 3D object doesn't get its own file. UV mapping points at just its rectangle within the shared sheet. So decentraland counts textures rendered at once, not images shown. So then I didn't think this was right. I was like, wait a minute, if these are dynamic photo gallery pictures, why would they be in this UV map? And so that's when I researched some more. And I think in the end, I'm going to get rid of this sprite sheet or atlas. And it'll be now for all the pictograms for the labels for the buttons. So I haven't run this through. Here I'm telling it where it can research. I'm like, don't research there. That's full of ads. And I believe that's it. That's all for my check-in. After it builds me the next one, I will make a video of this revision. So that's all for now.